Hey guys, this is another first impressions video, and this time it's for Veronica. Yeah, I know I'm late, but good news is that I got a bunch of information about this hero. We got a lot to cover about this one. And yeah, I've noticed a lot of people underestimating, as usual, the new hero, but this time, let's talk about her skill real quick. Average speed, usually pretty good. And by the way, when they gave me the footage, it was slow speed, and they changed it to average speed. So yeah, that is a big freaking upgrade. Deals total of 609% damage and 3 hits to the target and nearby enemies. Very important to note here. Applying 1 stack of Scourge with each hit and extending Scourge on all hit targets by 2 turns. So do take that into account, because at the bottom here you're gonna see at the start of the turn, each enemy hero with at least 5 Scourge stacks increases all allies crit chance by 5% and crit damage by 10% for 3 turns, stacking up to 10 frickin' times. So we have the possibility of actually getting 50% crit chance and 100% crit damage. However, it's not as simple as that, according to my testing. I'm going to show you that a little later. And Scourge takes damage equal to 1% of max HP each turn for 3 turns, stacking up to 20 times. So the higher you have her, the more damage it does. So that's awesome for the actual Scourge. The last hero we got for Scourge is not exactly like super crazy, but this one, lots of things to talk about, guys. +1, when battle begins, restores 100% mana. When casting a skill, cleanses silence from all red allied heroes and restores 25% of mass HP. So she's a healer. She's a freaking healer. I can't believe that. Then reduces green enemies healing received by 50% for 3 turns. So yeah, very interesting stuff. However, do take into account that if you have her at +0, the amount of the scourged ability. Wait a minute. The scourged here, she only gets the enemy's gonna only get 3 stacks. So if you have her at +0, you will need to activate her twice to actually get 6 stacks to be able to activate the crit chance thing. So that's very important to note. +2, 8%, plus 20% less damage from purples. That is interesting. +3. Now this is the super freaking unimaginable, completely ignored +3 that everybody's ignoring, and yeah, it's really crazy. All red ally heroes take 30% less damage during this turn and become immune to all effects that render them unconscious or unable to cast skills up to 3 times per turn. You understand what that means, right? This means that if you play against the blue teams now, you're not going to get frosted. If you play against green teams that have bubble, you are not going to get frickin' silenced. So, in other words, you're going to be immune to effects that pretty much make you control effects, pretty much. And that's going to be for the turn. So it's going to be super freaking rare that you're going to get stunned or whatever control effects 4 times in a single freaking turn. So this essentially is going to make you immune to blue teams and to silence teams just for having her in your team every single freaking turn. So can you imagine the possibilities of being immune to the entire freaking team to control effects for three times per turn? That is freaking insane, guys. I mean, in other words, not only them, every single hero that actually stops you from pretty much being controlled, pretty much stops you from controlling you, in other words, this is going to eliminate that. In other words, I'm not sure if it works for prison, but prison is another control effect. So yeah, maybe you'll be immune to prison as well. That is freaking insane, guys. And everybody that is ignoring and underestimating this hero is insane, in my opinion. And if you're thinking, oh, you got to test that, well, at least I asked other people that have this hero at +3, and they tell me yes, it makes you immune to all those control effects. So yeah, very, very powerful, highly underestimated +3 for sure, guys. Now, not only that, you also get when an ally takes a fatal blow, any ally, anyone that you have, grants them 100% shields increases their healing by 50%, and lifesteal by 20% for 5 freaking turns. 1 per battle. So pretty much this ability, usually you get it at a +5 level. Not just yourself. The entire freaking team gets this. So everybody's immune to death for 1 turn and gets 100% shield. So yeah, that is freaking insane. This +3 is absolutely broken, guys. I'm sorry. Whoever says this hero is bad, yeah, that's going to be a problem. +4 is the same as the +2. And the +5. The active skill damage and effects range expand to all enemies. So it's not only the target and the heroes that is next to the target, it's the entire freaking enemy team is going to receive that Scourge. At the end of the turn, deals 200% damage to enemy heroes, boosted by 20% per Scourge stack. Green enemy heroes take double damage. So you're gonna, if you have her at +5, you're gonna see like her head pop up and like a wave of fire. This is the +5 in action. So I'm gonna try to not waste any time in actually doing this, because I really want to show you what you can actually do at +0 in campaign. So right off the bat, oh wait, I activated her. Oh. Right when I said that I didn't want to actually lose time, I'll go and do that. Whatever, let's do it. Now, there's the +1 activated right off the bat. So, check this out. Every single hero in the entire enemy team gets 6 stacks. So, that means if you pass the turn... Oh, wait. I forgot that these heroes are completely weak. So, they die. Oh, my God. Come on. I'm trying to show things here. Now you're getting the stack. Check this out. We got 50% crit chance and 30% crit damage. I'm going to pass the turn. Try not to kill anybody this time. Let's see how much we get. We only 1. Because there's only 1 hero that actually gets a stack there. Let's pass the turn again. See if we can get another stack. We got 5 now. But after 5, since there's only 1 enemy that has the stacks, that means that it's not going to go up, it's actually going to go down. So that's the main thing that I wanted to show you here. Boom, boom, boom. Now, we only have 3. See? Because every single one of these stacks actually is refreshed by 1 hero. In other words, there's 3 stacks. 1, 2, 3. The turn passed, and the Scourges are going to refresh those 3 stats, but since the turn passed, there's only going to be 2 and a new 1 there. So it's only going to be 50% crit chance and 30% crit damage in that situation if it's only 1 enemy. If you have other enemies that have the actual Scourge, it's going to multiply a lot more. It's going to be 25% and 40% crit damage. So I hope that's clear, because if you're only gonna have 1 target, it's only gonna refresh those 3 stacks that he has right there for those 3 turns there. Yeah, I know it's complicated, but that's how it is, man. I tried. So we can. I'm gonna go now to see that's a +5 doing the damage with the fire like that. So let's go to campaign. I really hope that was clear, because I'm going to explain it again in campaign, because we got to talk about that here. Let's see, which level it would be good. Maybe this level is pretty high. 400. Yeah, I think this one's good. So I also forgot to mention that her faction is of Asgard. So in other words, she's able to go out for free using Director N. So this team is pretty much full of Asgard. Asgard. So on top of that, your team is going to receive additional crit chance from the faction there. So that's something you have to take into account. And do remember that my Veronica is +0, so she didn't get the mana here. So I'm going to activate here. So I'm going to show you now that when she actually goes off, it's only going to be 3 Scourge stacks. There you go. So 3. So it's not going to give the crit chance every turn like I would love to actually have there. So I'd activate this gal here, so everybody can actually get some shields, because she is a +0. I'm worried that she's gonna die. Now she can activate again for free. So that's the awesome thing about her. That with Direct Drain, you're able to activate her again. And here you'll be able to get the 6 stack. So passing the turn, you'll be able to get the stacks every single time. So let's see. I want to pass to the next one, honestly, because that way I'll be able to actually. Okay, see crit chance. We got the 5% and 5% crit chance and 10% crit damage. So we're going to try to kill this guy now. Boom, boom. Yeah, now I have 3 of these, so that's going to be a problem. So let's see. 10 and 20. We're going to do it again. Let's see. If I activate her, she's going to be... Oh, wait. Wait a second. If I activate this first, she's not going to get silenced, hopefully. Boom, 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 boom. Apparently, it didn't activate. That's crazy. So that's 50% and 30%. Just like I explained on the first time. It's not going to go higher than that because it's only one. It's only one that actually has the 6 Scourge stacks there. Because as I said before, every single one of these 3... imagine that these are 3 stacks. Every single one of these 3 stats are going to be refreshed by this one hero that has the Scourged stacks there by over 6. So that means that it's going to stay for 15 by 30 because one is going to disappear and then another one's going to appear again. I wish that was less complicated, but it is. But hopefully you got that. It is complicated. So let's try to destroy this here. Boom, 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 boom. Man, I need more mana to actually make these guys go off. Alright, let's clean this up. Alright. So I really want to pass the turn because I really need more targets to actually do more damage here. A little bit more. Here we go. By the powers of light. Boom. To eternity. Boom. And let's check again. We still have 50% and 30%, just like I explained. Now we really need more power here. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe I should have added another hero that does a lot more damage.
Fire leads us to eternity.
Actually, if I add another hero that does a bunch of damage, I'm not going to get the actual result that I'm looking for here. Let me cleanse here. Alrighty. So first stack. Will it survive? Yeah, it's going to survive. That's fine. Man, I should have activated it again. I'm going to do that now. Now we have the 6 stacks. Now we have 3 enemies that have the stacks here. So we're going to pass the turn. So now we got 20% crit chance and 40% crit damage. If we pass the turn again, we should be able to have it higher again. Let's see. So that's 30% crit chance and 30 and 60. So now I'm going to go here on this side to see if I can get more. And I'm going to go on this side as well. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm going to pass the turn now. See if we can actually get this ball rolling. And how much did we get? Wait, it went to 15? Let's see. Did it cleanse? All right. One got 3. One got 12. All right, I see what happened. I see. I need to be able to hit it again here. So let's see. Let me put some protection here. Alrighty. All right, we got it. Scourge again. All right, so I'm going to do this and pass the turn. Let's see how many stats we get. I think one is going to die. We got less. Let's see. 45% crit chance and 90% crit damage. Now, that's what I'm talking about. See, the more enemies you have with the Scourge, the more stats you'll be able to get there. And that's high. Let's see if we can do it again here. Man, I'm actually missing one here.
Fire leads us to eternity.
All right. and 1 died. So pretty much that's gonna be as high that we're actually gonna get here. Yeah, 35%, 70%. So yeah, that's the thing. So you have to take into account the more enemies have these stats, the better. So once you actually have this hero at plus freaking 5, you don't have to worry about getting 3 stacks and things like that. Everybody in the entire enemy team will get that. And the higher level of crit chance and crit damage you're going to get on your team, and faster you're going to get it in that situation. So yeah, Director N and her at plus 0, you have to do a lot of mental gymnastics to actually get a really high amount of crit chance and crit damage. But even if you have the hero at plus 0, you'll be able to do that if you do have Director N in your team. And you also have Freya on your team, which works very well with Director N and her as well. So connecting purple stones and purple stone and red stones are going to give mana to your entire freaking team in that case. That's really freaking powerful, even at plus freaking 0. So do take that into account, guys. Very powerful synergies there. But as I said, on the plus 3, if you fight against blue teams or teams that do a lot of stuns, like Agony, like Gunoff and things like that, you'll be able to survive those stuns in that situation. So in other words, to eliminate the stuns. So definitely, to be able to use this hero, you can actually play this hero at plus 0, honestly. I mean, the plus 1 is cool and all, but you don't really need it to actually play this hero. You're able to play this hero at plus 0 because you do get the possibility to actually get crit chance and crit damage by high levels. As long as you're mindful of how much stacks your enemies have, you'll be able to get high amounts of crit chance and crit damage. And if you combine this with your Messencat at plus 3, you'll be able to actually add even more crit chance and crit damage to your team. So a lot more damage. There's a reason why I decided not to put a Messencat on my campaign team just now, because I didn't want my enemies to die really quickly, as you saw there. So yeah. And on top of that, if you turn the enemies into frickin' green, if there's not a Vincent on the enemy team, if you turn in green, you're going to do additional damage on top of that, and the healing and all that stuff when you have her at higher levels, so, and higher awakenings and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are working behind this. And did I mention that you'll be immune to getting frozen and also stunned and also silenced every single freaking turn, and your entire freaking team does not takes 30% less damage in general? It can be counter, it can be skill damage, any damage. Your reds are going to receive 30% less damage during this turn. I mean, my God. This is definitely the sweet spot for Veronica, by far, for sure, in that situation. Because the ability to actually survive stuns and blues and greens, this could be the hero that could be used on your teams to actually try to beat blue teams and green teams with silence. So in this current meta in PvP. So yeah, there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of power behind this hero, and a lot of people are ignoring this hero. But since it's so soon, I don't have footage. I don't have confirmation about everything. Just that other players that do have this hero plus freaking 3 have told me that they are able to beat blue teams and green teams a lot easier than before, thanks to her ability at plus 3. So yeah, very, very, very possible that this could be a must-have. This could be a staple hero moving forward, playing against this incredibly disgusting blue meta. This is one of those heroes that could change the meta, but we will see, because the mana sucking is bad, but Director N does make her go out for free. And if you're having a plus 5, that's going to be relevant, because everybody's going to receive that Scourge damage in that case. So yeah, lots of things to check, but yeah, very, very, very promising hero. And if you're underestimating Veronica, yeah, you better check yourself, because there's a lot of possibility with this one, guys. So, but I'll make the update, and I'll give you the confirmation soon, guys. All right, guys, if you have any questions, have any concerns, please leave them in the comments, and we'll talk about it. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.